Um, what is that one thing that really strikes you after looking at that video? Wow, right? Amazing customer experiences, truly standout experiences. Using your watch to unlock your hotel room, a seamless check-in experience. Using your cola app to dispense your favorite cola drink. Again, a very refreshing experience. And the last one, obviously looking at an app that summons your driverless cars and provides you with a very traffic police proof driving experience after a few drinks at the bar. So those are all outstanding customer experience, truly superlative experiences. And these are not vision videos, but these are stuff that we've at Adobe we've enabled some of the companies, larger companies, smaller companies to deliver on that vision. Now, why am I talking about customer experience? There's a lot of reason behind that, but just imagine after companies have exhausted their watches, try in discount wars and discounts and freebies and all that, and other manipulative behavior through which we tend to acquire customers, and products to some extent start getting in the direction of being commoditized, etc. Then who will the customer be inspired and motivated to buy from? And the answer to that is, the folks that provide the type of, the businesses that provide this type of experience are the folks that are going to win in the long run. So that's the reason why there's so much, we have so much emphasis on experience as a true driver or a true differentiator of businesses doing well in the marketplace. And you saw that previous example that we had from Paperboat, where the experience was so phenomenal that it drove the entire, the product itself was marketing on its own, along with the other imageries that they created for that. So that's where we feel is the power of marketing and experience. Now the reason, now it's not only us that's talking about it, if all the CEOs in the room of startups and other organizations, along with Gartner, we did a survey, and we figured, and the answer was that 89% of the CEOs very clearly believe that for the war for the customer's wallet is going to be won at the experience layer. Now we believe in it so strongly that we feel that we are in the cusp of a new experience-led business that basically defines how customers interact with your brands, what type of experience that you need to bring to the customer to make sure that there is that stickiness and the engagement with the brand. So the first wave obviously was the back office wave, way back in the 80s and 90s, that it was where organizations were growing bigger, they wanted to go to scale up, etc. And that was the back office wave. The second wave was the front office wave, where CRM technologies, where customer, knowing about the customer and understanding how to engage with the customers led to the front office wave. And like I said, we are now at the third wave, which is the experience-led business wave, where we feel that organizations and businesses that are able to connect with the customers, understand customers through database, to data-driven marketing, etc., and being able to personalize their experience with the customer are the ones that are going to win that. So the back office wave, ERP and SCM were the type of tools and technologies that provided the differentiation in the front office, in the back office wave. CRM and Salesforce automation type of tools and technologies drove the second wave, which is the back office wave, front office wave. The tool and technologies that is now going to provide businesses with that differentiation to compete in this experience-led business wave is a digital marketing set of tools. Now, what is digital marketing going to do? Obviously, is making sure that you're able to understand your customer, you're able to understand the behavior of that customer, and tailor all the experiences across various touch points that the customer comes in touch with you, leveraging the type of digital marketing tools and techniques that are out there. Now, why is that important? That's important primarily because the customer is expecting it. The customer is expecting that organizations know all about me, because there's so much amount of data that the customer has put in the world out there. Your personal data, the cookies that resides in the customer's computer or mobile devices. There's so much of data that's available of the customer. The customer expectation is that you please understand who am I, and based on that, make sure that you're able to deliver other experiences the way I expect you to deliver that experience. And like I said, digital marketing will be the lever that organizations have to make sure that they're able to take advantage of the customer expectations and deliver that experience. Now, if you look at the type of technologies that are out there, it's mind-blowing. There's so much amount of digital marketing tools out there. Now, what is the right set of tools and technologies that organizations should adopt, especially organizations that are in the starting of their business? What are the type of tools and technologies that they should adopt, considering this mind-numbing amount of technologies out there? So what I've tried to do is put together a sort of a framework that shows how we can go about choosing these tools and technologies. I've laid off from talking about Adobe because obviously that was the message that I got, that let's keep it generic. So what you will see is more the type of technologies that are available at every single stage of the customer life cycle to make sure that we are able to reach out to the customers. So the framework that I looked at was it's a very simple framework, and most of us will be would be aware of this. One is, how do you find the customers? How do you engage with the customers once you've found the customers? How do you understand your customer better? So the customer starts interacting with your properties, etc. How do you start understanding the customer? And once you understand the customer, then how do you convert the customer through all the channels that he or she is engaging with, to nurturing that customer to ensure that he does a repeat business, he continues to engage and does a lot more transactions with the brand, and then finally making sure that he or she becomes an ambassador for the brand and goes about talking positive about the brand through socializing the brand itself. And then obviously you have to repeat the cycle. Now what I will do is look at each of these cycles, each of these stages in the customer life cycle, and give some examples in terms of where we have helped businesses in finding customers across each of these life cycles. So if you look at it from a finding customer, the customer acquisition is one of the biggest thing, especially for organizations like you, and that's where you spend a lot of time and energy trying to build this out. Now, the key message out here is that you have three different types of channels out there: paid media, earned media, and owned media. Paid media is obviously where you buy search advertisement or display advertisements or Facebook advertisement. Owned media is your own set of channels, websites, apps where you would promote your products. But the key element for the audience in this room is the earned media, where you create content, you create messages out there that have a nature of becoming viral, and then that itself does the marketing for you. So to give you an example, quick show of hands, how many of you are aware of the Royal Enfield Himalayan bike? Okay, great. So how many of you have seen the Royal Enfield's Himalayan TV advertisement? How many of you seen a press advertisement for Royal Enfield Himalayan bike? How many of you seen a banner advertisement? So they didn't really use mainstream media to publicize the launch of their product, but the success of that brand was phenomenal. Within a few days of launch, the order books were overflowing, and they had a tremendous amount of interest in that bike. So that's all through how they ran their the content marketing strategy, building the perception about the brand, building the suspense about the brand, the type of features, etc. that is going to come. So that's what I think a lot of folks in this room need to be thinking about, in terms of how do I, without having to start blowing up big bucks on those type of advertising digital ads that are out there, how do I have earned media as a very critical part of my arsenal to acquire customers? Obviously, once you reach an inflection point, you need to then start increasing the pace at which you're acquiring customers, and that's where you start looking at some of the other elements of the advertising mix. The next one is about, once you acquire the customer, how do you continue to engage with the customer? When I said acquiring the customer, that didn't mean real transactions of the customer. Acquiring is he or she goes from an anonymous visitor or a prospect to somebody who shared their numbers, their email address. So once you have that, how do you start engaging with the customer? Here again, we have the example of a startup bank in India. It's called IDFC Bank. Couple of years back, a lot of banks in India got a number of licenses to banking licenses, and they all started about talking about how do you get into a market, a banking industry which is highly regulated, there's intense competition, and there's a lot of well-established players like SBI or ICICI or HDFC. In that sense, how do I differentiate myself and start acquiring or engaging customers in that cycle? So that's where we help this organization called IDFC Bank build a completely digital way of doing business. So who loves a bank? Nobody, right? Who loves to walk into a banking branch of a bank? Unless you are forced to do it, you would prefer to do all that from the comfort of your room. So that's what this bank set about doing. So the entire experience of acquiring customers, getting the customers to sign up for a new bank account, etc., is completely digitized. So there's the only place, because of legal requirement, regulatory requirement, is where the customer has to actually physically sign the document. That's the only physical part of it. The rest of the stuff is all digital. So that's the example of how we can engage with customers across the different, create engaging experiences across different channels that you would want. The third most important thing is understanding the customers. I think data is like the new oil of the business of the industry, right? Where unless you know what the customer is doing, especially the first set of customers that actually start acquiring or using your product, buying your product, using your product, what is it that actually drove them to buy that product? Unless you understand all that, it's going to be very tough to replicate the type of initial success that you saw. So that's the reason we need to understand the customer. Again, here we've helped a lot of organizations through their journey of understanding customer data, generating insights out of that, and being able to drive that. So Flipkart is a big example. So we've been working with them for quite a while. For them, analytics and data-driven is so integral part of their overall business, so business critical, that there is a separate set of business that has been, a separate department that's been set up has similar powers to a typical product team in Flipkart. So that's a type of importance that we need to put at for understanding customers. Then the next stage is obviously how do you convert customers? Again, lots of interesting statistics. A leading e-commerce player in India, only 8% of the visitors who come onto their web page actually click on any of those offers and recommendations that are there on their website. For another competitor, the number is as high as 35%. Now, what does that show? That shows that if what you present as soon as the customer comes in is compelling, is personalized, is what the customer is expecting, then the chances of converting is much, much higher. So those are again, kind of tools and technologies that we need to put in place to understand what the customer is doing and making sure that we are able to address the requirements of the customer and convert the customer. There's lots of technologies, I just won't go through that, but this is again a very important integral part of how you continue to engage and convert customers. The next important stage is in terms of how do you, once you have a loyal base of customers, you've reached a stage where there's 10,000, 100,000, million customers who've been engaging with you. How do you continue to nurture those customers? Because especially product categories, where there's a lot of repeat purchase that happens, be the food or the grocery or any of those type of items. What is really important is making sure that you're continuing to engage with the customers in a really meaningful manner. I'll give an example of one of the movie ticket booking engine. Last 2 years, 3 years, I've been buying tickets on that, and I've been buying a particular category of tickets, which is because of kids. I go a U-rated children's movie. That's what I've been seeing for the last 2 years. But I still get and they have my records. So they continue to engage with me in email and SMS. But I still get recommendations for Kannada movies, recommendations for A-rated other English movies. So that basically shows that there is a data about me. But the data about me is not being utilized in a manner that will make it much more engaging and personalized so that I can continue to cultivate the relationship with that brand. So that's where nurturing customers with understanding the customers and nurturing customers through proper, clear communication becomes extremely important. And the last stage, like I talked about, is basically the social. How do you make sure that once you got your set of customers, loyal customers who transact with you, how do you create a customer advocacy? They go out and talk about you, facilitate the reviews, facilitate platforms that make sure that the customer talks about the usage of the product and all that. So again, a great example for us is the work that we've done with Nykaa, where almost 50% of their new customer acquisition happens because of their customers, their existing customers, talking about them on Facebook and other channels. So those are again, great examples of how we can leverage digital marketing tools at every single life cycle of a marketing life cycle and be able to connect with the customers. So that's all I had to basically to share a very quick short this thing. I will end the session with a small video which talks about the need for the marketing.
All right, Mars mission. Give me a go, no go for launch. Booster.
Go flight.
Retro.
Go flight.
Mission control, we are ready.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Sir. It's the sponsor. Data shows we need to make the logo bigger.
Thanks, mission control, we are ready. Again.
9, 8, 7, 6.
Sir, it's the sponsors again. Data shows millennials don't like the color. And we need a hashtag.
10, 9, 8, 7.
What? Search data shows Mars is no longer trending? They want to send them to Pluto.
Pluto?
プルードえよせってそれ惑星じゃないだろ
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What happened?
Well, sorry, guys. They burnt up their budget. We have to push the launch to Q4.
That's it. Thanks a lot for your time.